Hi guys, last time we spoke, or at least when I was speaking with Nathan, I started talking about the Minotaur, and I had to admit I couldn't remember all the things, all the little bits and pieces about the story of the Minotaur, so I went off to the internet, printed something out, and I thought I'd read it to you, and also I hope to jazz it up a bit as well with a few pictures. But anyway, the Minotaur, the main thing about it, it was a man with a bull's head, and he was meant to be very strong and very fierce. And each year, the Athenians, they are the people who lived in the city of Athens, had to send 7 boys and 7 girls over to Crete, to the palace of Knossos, where King Minos lived, to be sacrificed to the Minotaur in order to keep the Cretians from attacking Athens. So anyway, Theseus and the Minotaur. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there lived a king named Minos. King Minos lived on a lovely island called Crete. King Minos had a powerful navy, a beautiful daughter, and a really big palace. Still, now and then, King Minos grew bored. Whenever King Minos was bored, he took his navy and attacked Athens, a city on the other side of the sea. In desperation, the king of Athens, called King Aegeus, offered King Minos a deal. If Minos would leave Athens alone, Athens would send 7 Athenian boys and 7 Athenian girls to Crete every 9 years to be eaten by the Minotaur. The Minotaur was a terrible monster. He lived in the centre of a huge maze on the island of Crete. I did hear before that the maze had actually been built under the palace of Knossos. King Minos loved that old monster. He did like to give his monster a treat every now and then. He knew his people would prefer he fed his monster Athenian children rather than, well, their own children. So King Minos took the deal from the king of Athens, i.e. so Athens were now going to send over 7 boys and 7 girls once every 9 years. 9 years passed swiftly. It was just about time for Athens to send 7 boys and 7 girls to Crete to be eaten by the Minotaur. Everyone in Athens was crying. Prince Theseus of Athens was very young. He knew a deal was a deal, but he was sure it was wrong to send small children to be eaten by a monster just to avoid a battle with King Minos. Prince Theseus told his father that he was going to Crete as the 7th son of Athens. He was going to kill the Minotaur and end the terror. The Minotaur is a terrible monster. What makes you think you can kill it? Cried his father. I'll find a way, Theseus replied gently. The gods will help me. His father begged him not to go, but the prince took his place as the 7th Athenian boy, along with 6 other Athenian boys and 7 Athenian girls. Prince Theseus sailed towards Crete. When the prince and the children arrived on the island of Crete, King Minos and his daughter, the princess Ariadne, came out to greet them. The king told the children that they would not be eaten until the next day and to enjoy themselves in the palace in the meantime. The princess Ariadne did not say anything, but her eyes narrowed thoughtfully. Late that night, she wrote to Prince Theseus a note and slipped it under his bedroom door. It said, Dear Theseus, I'm a beautiful princess, as you probably noticed the minute you saw me. You're also quite vain. I'm also a very bored princess. Without my help, the Minotaur will surely gobble you up. I know a trick or two that will save your life. If I help you kill the monster, you must promise to take me away from this tiny island so that the others can admire my beauty. If interested in this deal, meet me by the gate of the labyrinth in 1 hour. Yours truly, Princess Ariadne. Prince Theseus slipped out of the palace and waited patiently by the gate, so he's obviously accepted the deal to take her help, and if he's then successful, he'll take her away so everybody else can see her beauty. Prince Ariadne finally showed up. In her hand she carried a sword and a ball of string. Ariadne gave the sword and ball of string to Prince Theseus. Hide these inside the entrance of the maze. Tomorrow, when you and the other children from Athens enter the labyrinth, wait until the gate is closed, then tie the string around the door. Unroll it as you move through the maze. That way, you will find your way back again. The sword, well, you know what to do with the sword. Theseus thanked the princess for her kindness. Don't forget now, she cautioned Theseus, you must take me with you so all the people can marvel at my beauty. A deal is a deal. The next morning, the Athenian children, including Prince Theseus, were shoved into the maze. The door was firmly locked behind them. Following Ariadne's directions, Theseus tied one end of the string to the door. He told the children to stay by the door. Their job was to make sure that the string stayed tied so that Theseus could find his way back. Theseus entered the maze alone. He found his way to the centre of the maze using the sword, and Ariadne gave him. Theseus killed the monstrous beast. He followed the stream back and knocked on the door. Princess Ariadne was waiting. She opened the door. Without anyone noticing, Prince Theseus and the children of Athens ran to their ship and sailed quietly away. Princess Ariadne sailed away with them. On the way home, they stopped for supplies on the tiny island of Naxos. Princess Ariadne insisted on coming ashore. There was nothing much to do on the island. Soon she fell asleep. All the people gathered to watch the sleeping princess. She was a lovely sight indeed. Theseus sailed away with the children of Athens and left her there sleeping. After all, a deal was a deal. She only asked to be taken away from that island, not to necessarily stay with him. So there you go, there's the story of the Minotaur and how Theseus killed him. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have a look at the next posting, it's the same story, but one I downloaded from YouTube. It's got a little bit more detail about what happened to the King of Athens at the end of it all. Anyway, speak to you soon.